To another lovely Wednesday. It is February the 6th here on Get It Got It Good in the WBGR Health and Wellness Studio. Thank you for being with us again today. Today, as you see, just chilling to this is Warren Morris. He will be able to take us from childhood to today and how he went from childhood star all the way to a business owner, which we all are about. Because I like for you guys to see the succession of how it happens. And you're a local DMV guy, right?
Yes, born and raised.
See?
Born and raised.
So it is definitely possible. I want to take a moment out to thank my sponsors, as always. Thank you, Mission Dance Work. Thank you, Dance Solutions. Dance Solutions Youth Outreach. One man sharpens another. McKeek Senior Home. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So, without further ado, Warren, thank you for being here today.
No, thank you. It's just a pleasure, a pleasant one. So,
and we're both like,
you know,
there's always a lot going on when you have a lot of responsibilities, right?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Look, he's taking calls right before the show, which I can relate to.
Yes, I think we all can, but I try to be there for who I represent. I mean, you have to be. They trust you with careers and decision making. So, I definitely try to make the best decisions and make myself available for them whenever. But
answer them phone calls. So you're responsible for so many people's careers, but how did that all begin? You first had to build your own career. What age was that?
I started acting at age 5.
Yeah, that's a little young. So whose decision was that?
Yeah, a little bit. My brother, my older brother, he was very theatrical as well, in plays and everything. My mother's side of the family, they always had a lot of talent, whether it was musical or, acting and things of that nature. So I was kind of the outgoing one. So they said, okay, let's try it. And my cousin was a member of the Sugar Hill Gang. I know some of you, younger folks may not know who they are, but they're a very integral part in the music industry. So, when we used to go down to Thanksgiving and things like that, he's like, you know what? I need to introduce him to somebody. Mm-hmm. Went to, shout out to Shirley Grant Management. They're still actually, doing their thing in New York and New Jersey. Big kudos. But, met with her and, we kind of just, hit it off. She was very, very welcoming, given the fact that I was inexperienced and didn't know what to do. Because we had tried a little something prior to that, and we had a bad experience. I'm not going to mention the name, but, we took advantage of us, got us for probably about $5,000 because we didn't know. And, she kind of explained, this is how we're going to do it. She paid for all my promo shots and, everything, which is very, very welcoming. And, I got my first commercial within literally a week after signing with her. So,
oh, wow. So she was doing her thing.
Yeah, she was definitely working for me. So.
And so let me, guys, tell you a little bit from my experience, because I know, like, in Baltimore, they have, like, John Robert Powell's training school and everything. Mm-hmm. But I found from when I was early, I don't know, I think I was, like, 11. They used to ship us up to New York for mm-hmm. these acting camps. And at the end, you would do your monologue or your dance or whatever the case may be for a whole sea of, like, agents, industry professionals. So how do you know which way is the right way? Like, what type of research would a parent do if they're interested in getting their child involved?
Well, if you are very, very new to the industry, what I would do is there's just a lot of resources online where you can go and look for different ratings, go to somebody that actually is in the industry that maybe you trust, mm-hmm. Go to an agency and just sit down and have a, talk with them and say, look, this is my child. I'm trying to get them in this, and this. And one thing I will tell you is it's a lot of bogus agencies out there, especially, now, and they're just about money. I'm going to tell you this. If the first thing they're talking about is paying me a monthly fee or, I want you to put down this $500 deposit, they're not the one for you. Mm-hmm. Okay. If somebody's really interested and they see talent in you, they're going to invest in you. And what happens is you sign, and then what they do is they get a commission based on, mm-hmm. What you do. You shouldn't have to pay.
Yes.
To have access to them. So that's what I always, tell people is that a lot of people kind of feed on the fact that people are very hungry to get in this industry, and they take advantage of that because they know, these young girls and guys, they just when they see all this, fame, and it's like, I want it, I want it, I want it, and they're willing just to take anything to get it. And you have to really, really do your research, especially here in the DMV. It's quite a few. It's quite a few. But go to their website. Do some background investigation. Who are they? Who signed under them? What what have their their clients done as far as work? What kind of Broadway shows, or what kind of commercials or TV sitcoms? What are they doing?
What is their track record, you guys?
Exactly. Definitely. You never take things at face value, especially nowadays, because you just leave yourself open, to be taken advantage of.
Any business or any professional worth their weight in gold will tell you, look, I'll do something for free with the commission. So, because they know, I know how to get people jobs. I know how to get solutions. I know how to get results, right? And so, by them getting you results, they get paid. So that's why they're willing to do that. Now, if they don't think they're going to give you any results, so if they don't think they're going to get you paid and they're not worried about it, that's where that they're paying me up front, because all you're going to do is feed me while I go on to the next person. And so that's why you got to be willing to do that research. So then how did you go from age 5 up through what? Did you do more stuff?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of till about 18 or so. I had a lot of support, both my parents. I'm lucky my parents have been together. They were very supportive. I had uncles who, if I had a call back or if I got a last minute call stating, look, we need you to be here, we think this is a great role for you, 9 times out of 10 you have a good chance of getting it. He would hop on his motorcycle, have me on the back, and let's go. Yeah, so it's a lot harder now. I'm going to be honest with you, because like I said, parents having 2 jobs and just a lot of other things that go on, and not necessarily having that support mechanism to be able to have that flexibility of getting back and forth. And honestly, that's what toward the latter part of my career, that's really what kind of hindered me, because both my parents are educators, and they were really, really, really big on education. And, I got to a point where it's easy kind of to take you out in elementary school. You can make that stuff up, but when you're in the latter part of high school, when you're trying to prepare for SATs and get into college and things like that, you don't have that flexibility of missing classes. You just miss too much pertinent information to be able to successfully, get a good grade and represent yourself. So it was difficult.
So I know a lot of kids who work in the industry get tutors or stay at home schooling. So was that ever considered?
It was, but my parents were very skeptical about doing that, because they wanted me to still have the social aspect and the aspect of what a school brings. Yeah, exactly. And they didn't want, the celebrity or the child actor to take over me being a regular child. And they made sure to have that balance. I support you doing this. I think you have what it takes, so on and so forth. One thing that helped our family is, my mother's side, we all looked, very young. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 42 right now. Nobody believes it. So, and when you're acting, that helps a lot, because, they're looking for, 9 times out of 10, these people you see, they're playing these younger age. They're 10 to 12 to 20 years older. So all those things helped, but, they wanted to make sure that I didn't lose being a child. And you have to have that balance, because if you don't, that's when you start having problems. And you see a lot of these child actors having problems later on in life. Exactly.
Because they don't know what it's like to blend in and be normal. And if you take away their roles, they lose their identity, because that's all they've ever known. So what are some of the roles that you've had?
Cosby Show, Disney, Nickelodeon, several commercials, Bank of America, Raw, Eddie Murphy, or work with Eddie Murphy, Raw as well. So, had a lot of different avenues, yeah.
So then how does that then translate into what you're doing now? So tell everybody what you do now. So,
well, like we talked about earlier, I had to make a decision in life to, go the education route and get my degree and things of that nature, because it was important. So instead of, continuing my acting career, I said, you know what, let me use what I've learned the networks that I have made and help other people. You know, one thing about the DMV is that a lot of the resources are not here. And people are yearning for the resources. You know, you're reaching out to people in New York and Atlanta and Miami and all these people, and you really don't know them, you know. So to have a person here that you can sit down and have a, you know, daily meeting with and go over what you need to go over and still has those connections to be the kind of liaison between the bigger markets that are really going to get you where you need to go and here. You know, people in DC don't think that because of the lack of resources that you can be successful here, and you can. You just have to surround, you know, yourself with the right people. And sometimes I'm not going to say it's easy, but there's some very talented, connected people in the DMV. And I will say, you know, God has blessed me with being surrounded by those people, and I've, you know, even learned a lot from them, been inspired from them. You know, Thomasina Perkins Washington, who owns Capital Public Relations, Allie, who owns Dynamic Public Relations, you know, all these people that have similar outlooks to what I do, but all have different skill sets. We kind of put our minds together and, you know, try to help folks, because it's not enough of that here. Everybody's kind of, you know, fighting and stepping on each other's back, or it's all about money. You know, we were talking about that yesterday. You know, it's a lot of times it's not about to help the artists. It's about patting these people's pocket, or, you know, and that's not what it's about. Like if you go to Atlanta and New York, I mean, they're really very supportive. That's why their artists and people there shine.
Yeah.
And why you don't have as many artists in the DMV as you should, because the talent is definitely here.
But
it's
then
here.
Once you get, you know, established with some type of momentum, a lot of the DMV artists then, you know,
transition.
Yeah.
They do, but part of that reason is because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I asked one of the artists who was on here, Dario, Dion, and I said, okay, once you get to where you want to go, what's your end game? He go to move to Cali, right? So do you think there's ever going to be a time when we become a hub? We have the ability to, you know what I mean?
We do. We just need to basically really, start working together and use our networks and say, look, it's enough for all of us to eat. You know, I was just talking to one of my artists, and it's kind of ironic that you said that, because his last statement to me was, you know, I'm gonna finish up this and I'm out, because something happened that he wasn't too happy with, and you know, he just thinks it's more, DMV makes it more difficult than it has to be. You know, instead of realizing, like I said, we can all eat. We just have to pull our resources together and do it together.
You guys, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this show, because I always say I like to have the platform for the DMV artists, the local people, to get out there and have the accessibility to different people. That we always talk about networks on here, about surrounding yourself with the right people and getting to know the right people. And so it's not just in, you know, the entertainment industry, it's in the business world, it's in whatever profession that you want to go into. You have to surround yourself with the people. Even if you're a 9-to-5er and you have a job as I don't know, a truck driver, you better surround yourself with people who are forward thinking, who can, you know, feed your mind positivity instead of negativity, because it'll take you further to help you be happier. So
definitely.
What type of artists are you looking for now?
Well, I definitely, my plate is extremely full. Not saying that, you know, I won't take anybody else, but because, you know, I kind of provide both sides of the spectrum, you know, the management, entertainment side, as well as the PR side. You know, it's very time consuming.
So what's the difference?
Okay. So the management side is basically, I manage the day-to-day activities of the artist, the model, the actor, actress, the singer, you know. So everything from schedules to calling and negotiating contracts to putting them in the right venues to setting up meetings that can further career, you know, things like that. So basically managing everyday activities. More on the public side is basically the public relations side of it. So the image side of it, or the branding side of it. So say I have a organization that is having an event. Nonprofit, you know, they don't have much of a following or so on and so forth. So they want to get that platform to be able to say, oh, wow, they're doing great things. Had a meeting with one of my newest clients. She's doing a black tie event for kids in the arts. So, underprivileged kids that may not necessarily been exposed to how a red carpet event actually happens from start to finish.
That's awesome.
And these kids are kids that have done, something notable throughout the course of the year, whether it's an award or whether it's, a serious accomplishment. They went through a selection committee and they were selected. But the publicist side of it is, okay, well, we're going to set up, your media appearances. We'll reach out to, Channel 9. I'll do all the talking points, get the segment together so that, when I send it over to the producer, everything is there. And you just make those connections so they can get that exposure. So that's what a publicist does. If it's some bad, press or anything that comes out, you nip that to bud. You handle it. If it's, a tie being crooked, making sure that they're presenting themselves in a professional manner at all times, coaching them on response to TV interviews. That is a skill set. People don't understand, when you go on TV, a lot of behaviors that we do that you may not notice, people will pick up on the television all day. All day. Whether it's saying, something as quickly as, that is something that we use a lot of times and you don't realize it.
Or whatever. If you watch public speaking, watch the speeches and see the difference between the pros and the ones who are just on the platform, count how many times they say It drives me crazy.
Exactly. So there's actually people. I have a close friend of mine, Darlene, who she actually does that. She's a professional coach of how to do media.
Oh, really?
How to interview properly, if you're female and you're wearing a short skirt or whatever, how to sit properly, or what to say, what not to say, not being nervous or twitching or repeating yourself, and let the responses be fluid. It's definitely a skill set.
It definitely is. I had the newly elected Howard County Sheriff, Marcus Harris. He's the first black sheriff elected in Howard County. And he was telling me how his wife, on the show, you guys, if you go back and recall, he was saying how his wife said he needed lessons on doing interviews because of the same situation. But he's not a politician. He was elected, but it's his first time in the arena. And so the whole public speaking thing, the TV interviews, and things like that are new to him. So, yeah, it's funny that you say that because there are specialists in every field.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How do you manage between being the PR guy and the management guy? Like, how would that work? Or do you have a team of people to help?
Well, yes. Like I said, I have, been fortunate to, have a pretty decent network. So if it's something I need support with or whatever, there's somebody I can reach out to, whether it's doing a flyer, whether it's sending a follow-up email, whether it's making a call or whatever have you. I do have a strong team. But just like you were saying earlier, you have to get to a point where, okay, you're like, I'm where I need to be now, because if you take on too many people, that's a lot of mistakes that they make, and you can't give the time and attention to the people you are representing. And when people come to you and they're trusting you with their management, or they're trusting you with, PR responsibilities, they're trusting you with, their business decisions and their life decisions. And, you owe it to them to give them, 110%. And it's not about, why I want to take as many clients as I can so I can make as much money as I can. You're cheapening what you are supposed to do. And one thing that I said that I wanted to do is, again, use everything that I've learned from being a child actor and singer and things like that to help other people that have that ability not to get discouraged, but get there, and have somebody that's really has their best interest. And it's not about money, it's not about fame. Been there, done that. I've been around 50 million celebrities. I mean, it's about me helping other people at this point, because I have been blessed, and I want to give back, and that's the bottom line. So
how do you mentally prepare your artists then? Because it is some mental preparation that needs to be done for a lot of people. A lot of people are not used to getting no's and getting told, you're too this, you're too that. And then you're talking about self-esteem.
Yes.
So how do you prep your people?
Management is very, very difficult. PR, not so much. PR, you just have to have people skills. You have to know how to deal with people. And you can't really let things get to you, because things will get stressful. But you have to know how to put out fires. You have to learn how to talk and deal with different personalities, and you'll be fine. Along with the networking, you'll be fine. Management, on the other hand, is very difficult because you're dealing with personalities, but you're also having somebody entrust you with making all the decisions. And then most people, they like that, but they still want to have a little bit of control over what they do. So, you have to constantly reiterate and remind them, okay, look, you entrusted me in this position for a reason. You obviously saw something that I was doing. Trust me.
My name is Lauren. I'm your friend.
Right, exactly. And it takes, time. Like, a lot of times what I'll do is I do a period of rapport building first. So, we'll go through various increments. Like, I don't even, really do, contracts per se. And, it's not a good practice, but I've been in this for a while. But most of the time, I'll go through a little time frame where I'm like, okay, you know what? It's called the prove me phase. So, we'll go out to various events. We'll do various things. I'll introduce them to people that I think are influential that can help them. I may set them up with a gig here, a performance here, and then let their comfort level establish. Because once that happened, and once they're saying, okay, you know what, this guy does have my best interest, then it's a lot easier. Because when it's always battling between you and them, it really hurts the overall production of what you can do, because you're spending so much time trying to convince them that you can do what you need to do.
It's like having kids, y'all.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And adults, we are big kids a lot of times, and like I have one artist now that this is his passion. He doesn't want to do anything else. So he is very, very, very passionate about his career, and any little thing that he doesn't think that is going to benefit, he's very vocal. So you have to be very, understanding of that. Put yourself in their shoes and say, okay, you know what? Let's do this. What could we have done differently? What do you want to do going forward? Let's sit here and map out, a year schedule, what you want to do, so they can see.
A year schedule. You catch that?
Well, when you do that and you have goals, and you can sit back and you can say, okay, look, I have accomplished these. We weren't just sitting there talking. We've done certain things.
You can see what you've been doing.
Right.
Because a lot of times it'll feel like you're not going anywhere. You're spinning your wheels. But if you have it written out, then you can look back and say, oh, check, then you'll realize you're moving.
Exactly. Right? And most of them, that's what they want to see. They just want to see progression. It's a lot of people that talk a good game. They come up and I could do this for you, and I know this person, I can do that for you, I can do this for you. And 2 months down the road, they're still doing talking. They're talking. And, when you have, and not only that, but you have, managers that have ulterior motives and, want to take advantage, or all they want, if you're a pretty girl, all they want to do is date you. And they want to, so it's a lot of things that, you have to overcome. And like I said, it's just a matter of getting that comfort level and having those, those walls kind of down a little bit, so they trust you and they trust your judgment.
So as far as some of your talent that you're working with now, what are some of the things that they've done?
Well, one of my artists, he just dropped a single with Snoop Dogg not too long ago. He has another one coming out with Rick Ross. Done several festivals. He won Independent Artist of the Year last year. Very, very talented and just very, very focused. I have 2 singers that have done, gone to The Voice, gone to The Four. So they're doing different things, but we're in the process now of really condensing things and focusing on what they want to do. Because another thing about this industry, it can take you in 50 million directions, and if you don't stay focused, then it draws you a path. And not only from that, but everything costs. So you have to make really sound decisions. I'm getting ready to shoot a video with one of my artists, and the videographer alone is $1,500.
Nothing is for you. Let's get that out of your head.
Exactly. So, you sit here and you start adding up things, and then you look at the end of the year and you look at how much money you've spent and what you really recoup from that. So, exactly. So, sitting down, making a budget and say, okay, look, we're going to allocate this to this. This is going to do this. Now, videos are important because they're visual. And people are very visual. So it's a good investment. However, if you're going to spend that much money on this particular video shoot, then we need to scale back here or here or here and make sure we're doing things that's going to benefit you. So, we're kind of revamping.
So it's awesome that you actually sit down with the clients and go through the budgeting process and everything with them. A lot of times, so many artists are in the dark about money and what it costs, and so they think they should have more than they should, or they don't know why they don't, or they wind up getting taken for their money.
Exactly. People gonna take your money.
Yeah.
They're gonna be there to take your money. You have to be the one to make the decision, say, is this a good use of my money or not?
You gotta be that gatekeeper. That means you need your financial education.
Right. I mean,
which
even
I'm big on.
exactly. It starts there. It starts there because everything does take money. You know, it takes money. I mean, a career is an investment as well. It's an investment in yourself. So you do have to, you know, be ready to spend something, but you have to be smart with it.
I find it crazy how people are ready to spend money to go into a career where they're, for example, people don't find it funny to spend money to get their CDL, right? And that's going to be a career that pays you an income. So why is it so different in our mindsets that if you pay money toward going into acting, pay money for voice lessons to go into singing, it's a different mindset, and people think it should be free, right?
Everybody wants, a lot of people want hands out. A lot of people want handouts. My easy response to that is you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. So, you know, even if somebody's willing to do, and you can be smart about things. So, like each of my artists, they all have different budgets. You know, some of them are working full-time jobs. You know, they're single mothers or whatever have you, and they have expenses. So they're not going to be able to, you know, drop $5,000 on a video or get up and go to New York for this showcase or, you know, BET Awards in Cali. They're not going to be able to do all of that. So what you do is you work within their budget. So there's a lot of people, like producers and videographers, that are trying to get exposure just like you.
Yeah.
So instead of going
right.
So instead of going, you know, for those top producers like, you know, your Ronnie Jerkins, you know, these people that are already established that, you know, yeah, you know, 9 times out of 10, you know, if they do it, you're gonna have a hit. But let's start somewhere, you know, and let's go to this, you know, young college kid who, you know, he's just trying to make some beats and trying to get, you know, he may only charge you $200-$300.
It's a big difference, but
exactly.
You gotta start somewhere.
You do.
So, speaking of starting somewhere, how would they get in touch with you if they want to get started now?
Okay, so all major platforms is Eminem Management 1911. Website www.sag7events.com, and you know, DM me. We can definitely talk. You know, I'm always open to you know, giving feedback. You know, it's not always about money, charge every little second. You know, but I'm always looking to, you know, help people and you know, just answer any questions that I can and help them in any way that I can. So
awesome. See, this is why we align, because I'm about helping people as well.
Exactly.
So, you guys, with that being said, we are out of time again. Look how fast
I know.
Always. But, you know, I think a lot of times you can give people too much information because then they start to tune out, or you guys have so much to remember already that it just kind of go in one ear and out the other. So take your notes, rewind, watch it. We always come to you every week with more information for you guys to try to follow. If you have any questions, contact us. You can find us on Facebook under Get It Got It Good G3. IG, same thing. You can catch up on all shows on our YouTube channel. Same thing, Get It Got It Good G3. So definitely reach out to us. Give us a phone call, 301-306-7284. And always remember, be an original, because an original is always worth more than a copy.
All right.
Have a good day, you guys.
All right. Have a great day, y'all.